Namaste from India. I welcome all of you to this webinar on a very interesting subject. The subject is myths about meditation. Meditation, of course, is a very popular word all over the world now, and we all know that this word has been derived mainly from yoga. So we will try to understand, first of all, a little bit about what is meditation, what is the meaning of the word meditation, and from the modern perspective as well as from the yoga perspective. Then we will also discuss the Ayurvedic angle on meditation a little bit, and also after that we would like to discuss some common myths about meditation. So welcome all of you, and before I start, I would just like to give you a very small introduction about Jiva. Jiva is the company where I work in India. So Jiva Ayurveda is not really just like a company, as we always say, it is a mission. So Jiva Ayurveda was started in 1992. I started my clinic in a small garage in a city which is outside of Delhi. Our main goal is reviving the Vedic knowledge in the modern context. This is a very interesting point because the Vedic knowledge, of course, is quite relevant. It's quite relevant for human beings in all times, relevant in the modern context. So the modern context is very important because sometimes people are practicing the Vedic knowledge, the Vedic systems in a very traditional style. We always have to remember that we are living in a different time now. A lot of things have changed as compared to like thousands of years ago. Our lifestyle, our surroundings, our food even has changed. Our climate has changed now. Our environment is changing. Of course, our living environment has changed. So we have to really pick up the Vedic knowledge, take the principles and make them applicable in the modern context. It may not be possible for us to really go back to that era and practice it exactly like that. So in Ayurveda, in Jiva, we work in three areas: education, health, which is Ayurveda, and culture. In education, we have a school with 2,000 students, and one of the goals is to create a curriculum which is really a curriculum for the modern generation. Because today, if we look at the education, we are being taught a lot of information, and this information sometimes is not really relevant for our life, especially when it comes to solving problems that are connected with our mind, problems that are connected with our emotions, and definitely the things that are connected with soul are not taught to us in our modern education. All we are mainly taught is some information that helps me to pass an exam and then also helps me to get a job. But ultimately, the goal of education is not only just making sure that I have a job and I have some money to have my basic necessities taken care, but the ultimate purpose of education is that I should know how to be happy. I should know how to have good relations. I should know how to deal with my emotions, especially when there are some kind of negative emotions. So we have created a curriculum which we call now as Ayur School, and this program is now taught to the children. The children, they do a lot of things in their school, especially things which are related with their own nature. So we teach them. We also teach them how to respect themselves, their selves, how to respect others, how to take care of environment, SOE philosophy: self, others, and environment. Every day, children, they do swadhyay, which is self introspection. They really look back into their entire day and they come up with some kind of a small note: what they did today, what was wrong, what was right, what was negative. Next day they come to school and they share with the other children. They sometimes share with the, with the teachers, and they try to improve upon their negative things. And of course, daily routine from Ayurveda, knowing your prakriti, vata, pitta, kapha, what is your prakriti, what kind of foods you should eat, all that is inbuilt in a curriculum. In Ayurveda, we are doing lot of things, which I will just show you in a little while. In culture section, we have a different wing which deals with higher philosophy of life, which basically comes from Vedas. It helps us to understand the real purpose of life. It also, this particular section also deals with various type of educative courses that people can take to really move into that real deeper purpose of life. So these are three different wings. The common vision is to create a healthy, happy and peaceful society. In Ayurveda, we are primarily using the Ayurvedic knowledge along with the modern technology. The world's first Ayurveda website was built by us in 1995. We are developing technologies how to bring this knowledge into remote or rural areas, or areas where there is no Ayurveda, or areas where there are no Ayurvedic doctors available. So we 1995 we started the world's first Ayurveda website. Then we started doing online consultations. That was the birth of Ayurvedic telemedicine. In 2003, I created another program which is called Teledoc, in which there was an app created on a Nokia phone, and through this app, one boy, he'll go into different villages on a scooter, and he will take history from the patients. He'll come back next day into the city, bring all the information. Based on this information, we will then analyze the case and create some kind of a package of medicines for the person, which was a personalized package, and the same boy will go and deliver it there. So this project was quite interesting. In 50 villages we did this, and United Nations in Geneva awarded this as the first prize for the World Summit Award. Jiva Health app, which is now available, you can download it from App Store or from the Google Play Store. This is another technology intervention that we are now currently doing to spread this knowledge of Ayurveda, which is a very wonderful knowledge. Most people still understand Ayurveda as some kind of Indian medical system, or many people think it is some type of traditional healing science, but it's actually more than that. It's not only just dealing with diseases or sick people. A lot of Ayurveda, most of Ayurveda actually also deals with people who are healthy. So through the app, we are able to spread a lot of information, how to understand your prakriti, your constitution, how to choose a proper diet, a lifestyle according to your prakriti. Also different seasonal information, in which season what type of lifestyle. So a lot of such things, home remedies, and especially about rejuvenation, about different types of methods of preventing diseases, how to maintain. This is all through the app. Excuse me. We also run the world's largest Ayurvedic telemedicine center, and recently I'm very happy to share it with you that we have created a record of 8,000 consultations in a day. So this was recorded in the India Book of Records as the highest number of consultations in one day in any Ayurvedic setup. I think it's a world record, because I'm sure there is no such facility available outside India. So this is what we have been doing. We have around 80 clinics in India now in different cities, and all these clinics are fully integrated with the technology. Every case is documented through the telemedicine. Also, whatever patients we consult either through phone or through video, we have started now video consultations also. All over the world we are getting patients from many different countries. So we are trying to use technology to spread this information of this Ayurveda, and also, let people experience this ancient healing science, because in many countries, of course, you don't find Ayurvedic doctors, and in many countries it is not also legal to practice. The Ayurvedic doctors are not recognized there. So of course, we are sitting in India, anybody is welcome to do a consultation, ask about their problem. We can suggest you home remedies, we can suggest you lifestyle changes, some herbs, some different kind of things we can suggest you. So this is one thing. And in India, because a lot of physical interventions are required, so there is also clinics available. People who are not very comfortable with technology, so they can physically walk into our clinics and get a Ayurvedic consultation also. Outreach program, I have a very popular TV show now in India, which is running on 5 national channels daily. And if you look at the combined viewership, it's around 500 million people watch this show. And again, the show is educative. We are trying to pick up a topic and discuss around that, what Ayurveda can do in diabetes or arthritis, or what can Ayurveda do in mental diseases. And we pick up different topics. Sometimes it's just a very modern topic, like the effect of electromagnetic radiations on our health. What can Ayurveda do in this, or effect of pollution, for example. So there are very interesting subjects that are picked up through this. We have also published a big data analysis paper last year. Right now we have a database of more than 1.5 million patients, and this is the biggest database in Ayurveda available in the world. We do have a lot of interesting data analysis from this. Diagnostic protocols and decision support system is also created for the doctors, where they use standardized protocols, questionnaire based on decision making algorithm, where they can ask questions and come to a proper diagnosis. Through the technology, using the technology, we have improved tracking and treatment outcomes, so we can follow up very nicely. We can understand what is going on, what is the outcomes, and what are the things that we need to maybe change or improve. Artificial intelligence enabled platforms, learning platforms, all this is being used. So just to give you a brief introduction of what is going on in Ayurveda in India. Now, coming to the subject of myths about meditation. So we're going to discuss today why there are myths about meditation. When a subject becomes very popular and there is no really complete knowledge available, then there is a lot of myths about it. And this is true not only about meditation, it's true about various other knowledges which are now becoming very popular. Even in yoga, now we see people have different understanding of what is yoga. There are people doing many types of yoga. Interestingly, I was very shocked to hear even about what they call now beer yoga. There is a beer yoga, there is a boxing yoga, there is a naked yoga, there is, the word yoga has been completely misinterpreted, I see. So this is what happens, and then people, if they don't have access to the authentic source, so then they start thinking this is yoga. Similarly, meditation, because meditation comes from yoga, of course. If we look at the word meditation, which has become very popular now, so either you will hear some Buddhist traditions, that some Buddhist people, they meditate, the monks, they meditate, or in yoga they talk about meditation. So of course meditation is a very popular technique that the world has learned from yoga. But is it really the real meditation that is described in yoga? Are we really understanding the real purpose of meditation? This is what we're going to briefly discuss in this talk today. So now, if I look at the meaning of the word meditation, it's a very very vast, very big, deep definition. I was just looking in the dictionary, and this is what I found. It's the action or a practice of meditating. This is when it is used as a noun. And if you look at the meanings, contemplation, thought, thinking, or consideration, reflection, deliberation. There are so many synonyms which you can find, which are even concentration, speculation. All these words are synonyms of meditation. But this doesn't help me really. I need to go to the root. This is what we always talk in Ayurveda. If you want to solve a problem, whether it is a problem in your physical body, it's a disease in your physical body, or it is something wrong with your mind, or it is something wrong at the subconscious level or the unconscious level, something wrong at the intellectual level, something wrong at the ego level. So first thing that you have to understand is what is the root of that problem. If you do not go to the root of the problem, then you may not find a permanent solution. You may find some temporary solution, but you may not find the permanent solution. For example, if there is a leakage of water in your bathroom and you just, without trying to understand from where the leak is coming, you try to block that hole. So it's maybe stop the water coming out temporarily, but then from another place the water will come out. Then you put a block there, then it comes out from somewhere else. So this is not what is the goal of Ayurveda. This is what is not the style of Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, we are not just suppressing one thing and then giving rise to another problem. In Ayurveda, we are primarily, at the first step, trying to understand why this problem is occurring. So let's try to go a little bit more deeper into meditation. This is what I found from one of the definitions, which I have just pasted here. But in general, if I want to understand what is meditation, meditation is a practice where an individual uses a technique, as I just mentioned in the previous definition. It's action or a practice. It's a kind of a technique. Such as what kind of technique? An individual uses techniques like mindfulness or focusing the mind on a particular object or a thought or an activity to train attention and awareness, so that one can become attentive, one can become concentrative, one can become aware and achieve a mentally clear and emotionally calm and stable state. This is a very simple definition of meditation. So it's a kind of a practice where you have to get involved in some kind of technique. Either you observe something in your mind, or you focus your mind on some outer subject, or on some sound, or on some picture, or on some kind of a vibration, or even sometimes on your breath or some activity. And what are you trying to do through this? You're actually training yourself to become aware, to become mentally clear, emotionally calm, and trying to be stable. Now, very important, this is, even this definition gives you some meaning of, but now I see many people when they're meditating. In fact, now I see a lot of people meditating. Everybody tells me that I meditate daily. When I travel around the world, I meet a lot of people. So I ask them, what are you doing when you're meditating? Interestingly, not many of them are able to actually tell me what they're doing. And they all give different type of answers. Some people even told me that I am actually sleeping in my meditation. So some people are sleeping, some people are dreaming, some people are lying down, some people are sitting, some people are just focusing on something. So when in the Vedic knowledge, when there is a specific word that we hear, or there is a specific thing that we are trying to understand, it cannot be meant, it cannot have different meanings. It cannot have meanings according to the people, or meanings according to different types of experiences that people are undergoing. So then it becomes a big mess. It's like, as I said, yoga now. If I don't go to the source, and try to understand the meaning of that word, and the source is definitely Vedas, the source is definitely Sanskrit. We have to go to the Sanskrit meaning of that particular word. Sometimes it's very interesting that when we translate the word into English, it loses its meaning. Like in Ayurveda, we talk about health, but in the Ayurvedic text, the word they talk about is swastha. I will come back to that later on. So swastha is not health. Or for a simple words which are now very popular, for example, vata. If I'm sure if you're all connected with Ayurveda, or you're connected with Veda Pulse, you must be knowing about vata, pitta, kapha. So technically speaking, vata is not air, pitta is not fire, kapha is not water. You have to really go into the deep and understand that vata is vata, pitta is pitta. Prana is not life force. Prana is another word which is becoming. Prana is prana. Similarly, we have to go back into the original source from where this word meditation has come. And the source of that knowledge is called yoga. So according to modern concept, again, meditation can be some techniques. They're designed to promote relaxation. Many people think, whenever I want to relax my mind, I can meditate. Some people think it is a technique to build some internal energy, because when people feel low, they feel negative, they feel weak. Of course, through meditation, many people have experienced some internal energy, charged energy, or something is nourished inside, or the life force, you feel more lively. Even some people, they think meditation is something that helps me to develop compassion, love, or patience, generosity, or forgiveness, all these things. Deep thinking on a particular subject, or concentrating on a different on a particular subject. This is another understanding that people have. So this is a modern aspect of meditation. But as I said, we have to go into the authentic source. We have to really go to that thing from where it comes. So does anybody knows from where this word meditation comes? Can somebody help me to understand that? Maybe are you able to type in the chat box? So can somebody tell me, where is this word meditation coming from? What is the original source? I'm just looking at the chat box and I can see if, okay, Julia says it is the word dhyana. Okay, where is the word dhyana coming from? What system? What part of the Vedic knowledge? Anybody else? Okay, from Ashtanga Yoga, fifth limb, from Patanjali. Okay, good. So anyway, that's good. That's very good that you all know the source. So what I'm trying to emphasize here is that we should at least try to find in the original source what does it actually means. Otherwise, we will end up having a lot of confusion. we will end up having a lot of misconceptions, a lot of myths. And that's why, I am emphasizing this from the very beginning. Anything that you don't understand, anything that you have any confusion about, first of all, you have to look, or you have to find out what is the source, what is the original source of this particular practice or particular technique. So this is I get from you, all of you, that the source is yoga or Patanjali, because Patanjali also wrote the Yoga Sutras. So let's go and try to understand it from the yogic perspective. I would like all of you to look into this picture. This is a very interesting diagram I have made. Before you really go into understanding what is meditation, and especially not only what is meditation, but who is meditating, because this is, I have drawn here a complete human structure. All human beings, irrespective of the country you are in, or the religion you follow, or the culture you practice, every human being is a component of this, what you see on the screen right now. Every human being has a body. According to Ayurveda, the body is made up of 5 elements. Then there are also 5 seeds of the elements. There is what we call as tan matras. There are 5 elements, panch mahabhuta, and there are panch tan matras. Then we have 5 knowledge acquiring senses, which are called the Gyanendriya. We have 5 working senses, which are called the Karmendriya. We have a manas, which is the mind that we know as operating through our brain and various nervous system, faculties of the nervous system. We all have a buddhi, which is translated in English as intelligence. We all have ego, ahamkara. Ahamkara is actually that part of me which helps me to understand my identity. It gives me a feeling of I, that I exist. It helps me to exist. Without ego, I can't exist. Without ego, I cannot identify myself from others. There is an unconscious mind which is called chitta, which is the storehouse of all the experiences that I have in my life, even my early childhood, even when I was in my mother's womb. All the things that I have tasted, I have heard, I have experienced, good or bad, they're all stored in the chitta. In fact, according to the Vedic tradition, the chitta also contains a lot of experiences from previous lives. So it's a big hard, you can say it's a hard disk of the computer, which contains many programs. And finally, there is something which is called Atma, Purusha, or soul, which infuses consciousness into this whole system. So a very interesting thing that we all need to understand is that we are all a component of all these different constituents. If you even count according to Ayurveda, we say there is 5 pancha mahabhutas, 5 elements, and 5 tanmatras, so 10. Then there are 5 gyanendriyas, 15. Then there is 5 working senses, karmendriya, 20. Then manas, buddhi, ahamkara, and chitta, 24. And then the 25th is the soul, which is the atma, which gives the consciousness to the whole. Is everybody understanding? Do you understand this simple model? Everybody understands? Any problems? I want to bring this model here because this is the human being which is meditating. We have to really understand who is meditating, and out of this all these different things, we'll also come later on to understand who is meditating. Because mostly what happens, people, when they talk of meditation, they are all talking about stopping the mind or engaging the mind in something, focusing the mind. And now in this diagram you can see that mind is somewhere in the middle. It's not the ultimate end. So it's like a bridge between the external, which is the physical body and the senses, and the internal, which is my ultimate, the Atma or the soul. So stopping the mind or engaging the mind in something, or focusing the mind on something, is actually not meditation. You will realize that it is a process. Maybe it's a part of the meditation, you can say, or it's one intermediate step of meditation. But ultimately we will go into that also, what actually is meditation and what does it mean. So this model I just wanted to bring in, because this is something which we will require when we will talk about meditation and we'll talk about yoga. So this is the human structure. Now we will go into the main subject. All of you have just informed me that meditation is something which comes from yoga. So first of all, let us try to understand what is yoga. These days in the world, the word yoga is definitely is all considered to be as some kind of physical activity, gymnastics. Many people are expert in bending their body, standing on their head, putting their legs on the head. They do different kind of activities. But really, is this yoga? And if we do not really understand the real meaning of yoga, we cannot understand the real meaning of meditation. Because this is not only me talking, all of you also have just confirmed that meditation comes from Ashtanga Yoga. Somebody said it's coming from Patanjali. So yoga, a simple definition, is a discipline that improves or helps one to develop the inherent power in a balanced way. It offers a means to attain complete self-realization. Now this sounds a little bit complicated definition. Let me make it a little bit more simple for you. If I just want to understand the literal meaning of the word yoga, it means to link, to connect, or to yoke. But to link what? So now this is where, when people don't go to the source, so people will have different meanings of this word link. So some people will say to link to yourself, some people will say to link to your mind, some people will say to link to your body, some people will say link to your environment, link to the consciousness. So there's a lot of different meanings. But the real meaning of this word yoga is linking your individual spirit, which means your Atma, your Purusha, your consciousness, linking this consciousness or Atma to the super soul or the Paramatma or the universal spirit or the universal consciousness or God, whatever you call it. So this is the real meaning of the word. And in order to reach this level, what I need, if I go back to the previous slide, I told you that in the previous slide, I told you there is something which is called Chitta, which is the unconscious mind. In this unconscious mind, I have stored, so many experiences which are called the samskaras. And these experiences are actually a big bondage or a big hindrance in my process of meditation, in my process of self-realization, in my process of linking myself to God. There is a lot of problem which is coming from the chitta, because the experiences in the chitta keeps on becoming active. For example, just I'm giving you a small example. For example, you have a very quiet mind, your manas is very calm, you are sitting home and you are very happy, you are very relaxed, you are very charged, maybe you are very positive. Suddenly from the chitta, one file becomes active, the file of maybe, let's say, drinking coffee or eating a chocolate. So rise from chitta, that desire will be thrown to the mind, and mind is the boss of the. It will order the hands, another working sense, to open the refrigerator, pick up the chocolate and put it in your mouth. So this is where is the trouble starting? It's starting from the chitta. For example, if you did not have a samskara of chocolate in your chitta, if you did not have a file that, experience of chocolate, then you will not have a desire. So ultimately, when we go originating from this chitta, because even our traumatic experiences that we had in the childhood are stored in the chitta. Sometimes when I'm an adult, I have nothing wrong in my life, everything is going fine, but looking at the external situation, one of my traumatic experiences stored in my which is stored in my chitta gets activated. Is the sound better now? Please let me know. Is it better now? So one of the file which I suffered, in my childhood, and it is recorded in my chitta, will become active. And now at present, when the incident may have happened 25 years ago, but it becomes active now, and I start feeling miserable, although nothing is happening to me right now. Maybe I am just listening to someone's story which is very similar to my story, or I am just watching a movie which triggers my past trauma. So again, what I am trying to say here is that this chitta contains many experiences which from time to time keep on becoming active as desires to get that. So anyway, what I am trying to explain here is that in my chitta I have a lot of experiences, good experiences, bad experiences, and these experiences either through some external resemblance. Suppose I'm going out in the mall and I smell some nice fragrance, or I smell coffee, for example, or I see from my eyes chocolate. So that experience or samskar of chocolate or coffee becomes active, and then I have a desire to drink chocolate or eat chocolate or drink coffee. But this is one way, external stimulus. But sometimes, as I said, I'm sitting in my home and suddenly, the desire of eating chocolate, the program in the chitta becomes active. So therefore, the chitta is a big problem. It actually contains lot of experiences from previous life also. Some people, when they go into a closed space, for example, some people when they go in an elevator, so they feel like suffocated, they feel, and the heart starts to beat faster, because when they go in the closed space, when they go in the closed space, the program which is in their chitta, maybe past bad experiences, maybe in this life or previous lives, you're stuck in some space, maybe somebody locked you in a closet because you are maybe creating some trouble or anything. So that has become a program in the chitta. So Patanjali says, now if I go next slide, Patanjali says yogas chitta vritti nirodham. Yoga is the process of controlling these desires or experiences or the files or the samskaras which are in the chitta. Through this process of yoga, I can actually control them, I can block them, I can calm them down. And this is what is a very important step of yoga, because as long as I am not able to block these vrittis, what is going to happen? If I go back in the previous slide again, I will not be able to realize my true identity, which is soul, which is Atma. Of course, now if you look at this diagram again from the bottom, I have a body, and body has many organs, many systems. The body always is desiring something. The stomach needs some food. My other physical organs also need some food. My senses, especially my knowledge acquiring senses, my eyes want to see something, my ears want to hear something, my tongue wants to taste something, my body needs a touch, my nose wants to smell. So all these senses, body, they have a lot of desires. But forget these desires. If you go to mind, mind is full of agitation. Continuously we are actually agitated. And of course, I just explained to you about chitta. Chitta has so many experiences and so many traumas and different kind of experiences, and they keep on becoming active, and which are then thrown to our outer mind, and this is why we're all suffering. Understand? Everybody understands the root cause of suffering? The root cause of suffering is that we have so many traumas, so many different kind of bad experiences. We have different types of problems, and they are constantly bothering. Even when we are going to sleep, you might have experienced, even when we are sleeping, we are some files in my chitta become active, and then I'm dreaming, and I'm actually experiencing so many different things, and my mind is very active. I can't sleep deep. So many people have this problem of not sleeping deep. So therefore yogas chitta vritti nirodha. What is yoga? This is a very beautiful definition given by Patanjali. Yoga is a process with which I can actually try to calm down all these different things which are arising from chitta. Also, I can calm down my mind, I can calm down my body, my senses. And why do I need to calm down all these things? Of course, this will make me peaceful, which we are all looking for. Everybody wants peace. Nobody wants disturbance. Nobody wants troubles. Nobody wants any kind of problems. We all want to be happy. And happiness is nothing but a peaceful mind, a peaceful body. A peace in the chitta is happiness. So number one, it will make me happy. It will make me peaceful. It will make me, healthy. But that is not the ultimate goal. Ultimate goal of yoga, go back to it will help me transcend all these agitations at physical level, at the sensual level, at the mental level, at the chitta level. It will help me transcend or cross or go deeper into my true self, which is Atma. This is what is called self-realization. Self-realization is not some kind of a mysticism. It's a scientific process. Yoga is a scientific process, as I have just explained. Becoming self-realized does not mean that you have to sit inside a cave in Himalayas and meditate for 6 years or whatever. Becoming self-realized does not mean that some light will lit on your head. Becoming self-realized means to know your true identity. Self means me. Realize means to know. When I realize who am I, that is self-realization. It's very simple. And how do I do that? By calming down all the mundane desires that are arising not only in my chitta but also in the mind and the senses and in the body. So that is why yoga. Understand? Everybody understands what I'm trying to say here? So that is why yoga, and that is the definition of yoga. Yogas chitta vritti nirodha. Chitta means subconscious, unconscious mind. Vritti means all the desires. Nirodha means to block, to calm them down, to keep them quiet. Even the traumas, So many people today are suffering because of childhood traumas. So because again those traumas in the chitta are recorded and they become active. So this is yoga. Yoga is not gymnastics. Yoga is not becoming expert in just stretching your body, which is also part of yoga. It's okay. What is yoga? Let's try to understand. We have Ashtanga yoga. Ashta in Sanskrit means 8. Anga means limbs, parts. There are 8 parts of yoga. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. These are the 8 parts of yoga. We need to really understand. If you really want to become a yogi, you should know. If you really want to meditate, you have to now understand what is the meaning of meditation. Connecting your soul to the super soul. Simple. But how do I connect my soul? Now I am trying to meditate at the mind level. Everybody is trying to meditate at the mind level. I don't even know that I am soul, or I have no experience of that I am soul. So how can I meditate? That's the big problem. How can I meditate without knowing who is meditating and what is he meditating on? So therefore they designed this 8 parts, eight steps of yoga. And the first 2 steps, they're very, very important. Yama, Niyama simply are translated as rules and regulations. This is very important to understand. Before you want to practice anything, you have to know the rules and regulations. It's like before you start driving a car, you must know the traffic rules, you must know how to change the gear, you must know how to push the accelerator, you must know what kind of fuel this car needs. You have to know some basic rules and regulations. You have to know the traffic rules. Otherwise, it's not rational, it's not logical. Imagine you start driving a car without having any knowledge of traffic rules or any knowledge about the car. So you will not even get a license. In fact, people should get a license before they can meditate. Means there should be some basic basic knowledge which should be given. So this is true about yoga, that before you go into asana, which is now very popular, everybody is doing asana, everybody is doing these physical postures. So the physical postures come at the third step. Without knowing the purpose of yoga, without understanding the rules and regulations, if you will practice asana, you may not get the complete benefit of the yoga. You will get some benefit, of course. Like without knowing the traffic rules, if you start driving, maybe you will reach somewhere, but you will not reach your destination, because sooner or later you will meet up with some accident or some problem. So this is what is happening. That's why people end up doing beer yoga or different types of all those yogas. So this is asana. Sorry, I missed one point here, the 4th one. This is my mistake. I think somehow it got deleted. The 4th part is pranayama. Please fix this. After asana comes pranayama, which are breathing exercises, controlling your breath. And controlling your breath is the first step towards controlling your mind. If one can control their breath, they can control the mind. It's very easy. Pratyahara is when we start directing our senses inwards. Then dharana, 6th step, is the step where we start concentration exercises, concentrating the mind, concentrating your various senses, trying to get involved in the process of concentration. And then once you are expert in all this, when you know the basic rules and regulations, you have practiced asana, which helps you to sit in a comfortable position. Patanjali says sthiram sukham asanam. What is asana? Purpose of asana is so that you can sit comfortably and stably. Very important for meditation, for dhyana. And very important to control the senses, control the mind through pranayama, through pratyahara. Very important to learn how to concentrate. Now people start meditating, they don't even know how to concentrate. They don't know how to control the mind. They don't know how to control the senses. So how can they meditate? It's again like trying to drive a car without knowing the basic rules and regulations of driving. So then comes dhyana, seventh step of yoga. This is what we really can call now as meditation, when your mind, your senses, your body, your everything is completely concentrated. You are actually connected. This is when you get connected, when your soul gets connected to the super soul, and then you go into the stage of samadhi. It might be sounding that it's quite impossible or difficult, but it's not true. It's very much possible. In this modern world, we have done so many things. We have achieved so many things. When I was in primary school, it was very difficult for me to learn English alphabets. When I grew up and I was in my middle school, it was it almost looked very impossible that I will be able to learn the terminology of trigonometry or geometry or biology or physics and chemistry. But I did, because I did, there is a process to learn. In my college, when I went into Ayurvedic college, it seemed almost impossible that I can learn all those medical terms, but I did. So it's always, whenever you come across any new knowledge, it looks difficult, but as we have experienced and we have really learned many difficult things in the past, we can also do this. It's not really impossible, I would say. So as you can see in the Ashtanga Yoga, the first three limbs are mostly external and they're useful for preparing the body. We first need to prepare our body for meditation, for yoga, for really going into that linking yourself to the super self. So first three, yama, niyama, asana, are for that. Then the next two, pranayama and pratyahara, are kind of like a external as well as internal, because you are actually trying to control the breath, or you're trying to make your senses go inwards. So this is, you're still in the external, you're in connection with external world also, and you're also trying to do something with your internal subtle body. And then the last three parts of yoga, which are the dharana, dhyana and samadhi, this is when you are kind of disconnected from the external and you really practice the internal. So this is just a brief description again of what is Ashtanga Yoga. Internal yoga, as I mentioned, as it starts, I said pranayama and pratyahara are both internal as well as external. So what is pranayama is controlling the prana. There are different types of breathing exercises which are now very popular, like alternate breathing through the nose, or it's called nadi shodhana. There is another type of pranayama called bhramri, like the humming bee. Ujjayi pranayama, where you are breathing a little bit, making a sound in the neck. Kapalabhati, Bhastrika. There are many types of pranayama. So the purpose is to control the prana, and when you control your prana, it controls your mind, helps to control your mind. Pratyahara, as I just explained, withdrawal of your senses from the outer objects. Dharana is learning to concentrate the mind. Dhyana is fixing, very interesting, it's not only just fixing your mind. That's why I said that meditation is not only about mind, it's also, fixing your mind, fixing your ego, fixing your intelligence and chitta. Because right now, it's not only just my mind which is agitated, my ego is also agitated, my intelligence is also not in the right place, and of course the chitta, which is a hard disk, ocean of desires, it's also agitated. So we have to, fix all these things on the object of concentration. What is whatever you're trying to concentrate on, whether it is some sound, or it's a word, or it's a light, or it's a mantra, or whatever, all these four guys, mind, ego, intelligence, chitta, they have to participate in the concentration process. It's not only just concentration of the mind. And many of us have experienced it, that whenever I try to concentrate my mind on some object, what happens? My chitta starts to agitate. So many desires start to arise from my internal subconscious mind. We have all experienced. And although we're trying hard to stop the external mind, but my subconscious mind, chitta, is agitated. That's why in the real meditation, in real dhyana, I have to fix all these things on the object of concentration. And that is when actually I can go into samadhi, which is when your soul is absorbed in the process of meditation, and that is samadhi. So this is a little bit more deeper description. What is the cause of confusion? Why are we not really understanding what is meditation? Why do we get confused, or why we don't even understand what is yoga? The main cause, because it's, as I said in the beginning, we have to really understand the cause of the problem. If I don't understand the root cause, I will not be able to solve the problem. So the cause of confusion is that we are mixing different stages of yoga. Because when it comes to meditation, for example, we don't know whether it is pranayama, or it is, which means pranayama means controlling the mind, whether it is controlling the mind. Some people say controlling the mind is meditation. Some people think controlling the senses is meditation. Some people, which is pratyahara. Some people think, concentration is meditation, which is dharana. Some people think, connecting the soul with God, through some mantra, or that is meditation, which is samadhi. So there is, people are thinking pratyahara, or dharana, or pranayama, or samadhi. These are meditation. This is what is the cause of confusion. We are mixing too many things to derive a meaning of one word, or we are mixing too many different types of techniques to make it into one word, which is meditation. But we have to understand that each of these stages have some purpose in yoga, and they have to be learned in their own right. It's very, very important. You can't mix them up. That's why there is so many confusions. That's why there is so much. And the problem is that people who are teaching meditation now around the world, if it is creating some confusion, definitely they have not gone through this knowledge. They have just learned from a source which itself is an incomplete source, and then they are teaching it to others, and then they are teaching it to others, and this is what's going on. More and more confusion. So that's why, labeling all these different steps of yoga, which are pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, samadhi, dhyan, all these, calling them meditation is the cause of the confusion. Now, this is clear. Let's talk about a little bit about what are some of the common myths. I think after this there should be no myths left, but I have pointed out some basic myths here. So let's try to understand what is it. So first thing is, many people think, or the myth is, that meditation is a religion. So I think I just made it very clear. Meditation is a process in which I, the real me, which is the consciousness, tries to connect itself to its whole part, which is I'm talking in a very simple word, I am a tiny part, and there is a whole of me which makes me complete, which is the super consciousness. So it does not require any religion to practice this. You can be a Christian, you can be a Hindu, you can be a Muslim, you can be anybody. So anybody can try to connect your soul to the super soul. It doesn't matter. You can. We're not talking here about God, who is God, what he looks like. We're just talking connecting yourself to your original, eternal beloved, as we know. So therefore, I would say that it's not a religion. Anybody can practice meditation. Anybody can try to connect your soul to the super soul. People think meditation is some kind of relaxation. Of course, I would say that meditation does gives me a feeling of relaxation. When my mind is calm, I feel relaxed, I feel more happy. But as we have just experienced, this is not the only purpose of meditation. So many people, they are trying to meditate so that they can be more calm, more relaxed, which is okay, but it's not the ultimate purpose of meditation. We have to go beyond. We have to understand also, why do I need to make my mind calm? Because if I don't know that, then I will agitate my mind once again. I should know what to do when my mind is relaxed, what to do when my mind is calm. It's like in the modern age, I see so many people, they're trying to become healthy. And when I ask them, why do you want to become healthy? They don't know. And majority of the people, they're trying to become healthy so that they can become unhealthy again. Which means that they are trying to become healthy so that they can eat more, they can enjoy more, they can dance more, which means they're trying to create an imbalance again. So that is not the purpose. Same thing is with the relaxed mind. People are trying to become happy so that they can agitate the mind again, engaging in all these so-called worldly affairs. So you have to understand, relaxation is definitely a byproduct of meditation, but it's not the ultimate goal. Meditation requires a master. This is a very interesting question. Of course, to practice everything in a proper way, we do need a teacher. Even when you want to learn how to drive a car or any simple thing, now it's not that you really just have to find a perfect master, but at least for the basic understanding, if you do need a teacher. The goal of meditation, of course, is not just simply improvement of health or relaxation, which is definitely a byproduct. But if you are meditating just for your mental peace, for relaxation, for good health, then you may not need that real master. But of course, if you're going into the deeper, the real meaning of practice, real meaning of meditation, which is the ultimate goal, the spiritual goal or the self-realization, then sure, you will need a guide, you will need a teacher, a master, which means someone who has experienced this process of meditation. Because without that, you will get confused and you will not be able to. So it's true about anything that we want to learn. There are a lot of books available, there are a lot of videos now available on YouTube, and there are a lot of TV shows, online courses which help you teach different types of knowledge. Even Ayurveda, for example, now we teach so many courses. But ultimately, when you really want to go deeper, you have to find a practicing doctor of Ayurveda, who is practicing Ayurveda, who is really dealing with patients. Otherwise, you will not be able to use the knowledge to get complete benefit out of it. Next is meditation is about, So what is next to meditation is calming of the mind, that I have already described, the relaxation of mind and calming of the mind. Yes, of course, it calms down the mind, but it's not the ultimate purpose. Meditation is mindfulness. This is a very important thing you have to understand. A lot of people are now talking about mindfulness, and they now even call it mindful meditation or mindfulness meditation, where you try to become aware of your present situation or your breath or whatever you're doing in the moment or in the present. So again, this is just mindfulness is limited to becoming aware of your actions, your breath, your attention. You bring your attention to what's going on in your life at present. So this is not ultimately meditation. Meditation, we have just learned, is the process where I want to go beyond the mind and the intelligence and the ahamkara and the chitta, and want to realize that I am the soul. And after that, I can really connect myself with my other part. So people who practice mindfulness for better health, emotional healing, and improved performance, it's okay. It may help definitely, but meditation is something even more than this. So it's not just only mindfulness. Meditation, while practicing meditation, I have to wear some specific kind of clothes, do some different rituals, like some people burn incense, some people put some fragrance. So primarily the purpose of all this is to make yourself comfortable. Of course, if you're wearing some tight clothes and it's very difficult to cannot even breathe properly. Some people I see, they wear very tight clothes and then they try to meditate. So you have to wear something which is comfortable, which is so your body can breathe, your body can be relaxed. Doing some rituals like burning incense or putting some some kind of flowers, it's all helps to, it's pleasing to the mind, it helps your mind. So what I'm trying to say, that it's not it's really that this is meditation, but this helps you. There are some external surroundings that we need to understand to create an atmosphere that will help you. So therefore, my answer is that it's not the most important thing, but it is supportive. It's like when you're driving a car, or when you're going for biking, or when you're going for jogging, you have to wear a special kind of dress. So therefore, for meditation also, it's good to wear some special dress to create some special atmosphere that will help you in the process of meditation. One needs to chant mantras while meditating. Now this is another, many people, they talk about different types of meditation. So I think it's not really important that we go first step into mantras and all, but at some point you have to choose. There are different ways of connecting with yourself, with God, which are called the process of yoga. There is a Raja Yoga, there is Karma Yoga, there is Jnana Yoga, there is Bhakti Yoga. So this again is different paths are there. You have to choose which path you are interested in, and then you can either meditate on mantra, or you can meditate on different things. One has to sit in lotus position to meditate. This is again not really very much possible for everybody. Everybody cannot sit in lotus position. So I think one should sit in a very comfortable position. It's very good to sit on the ground so that you're grounded. It's good to sit on the floor. It's good to sit in a very relaxed and comfortable position. So not necessarily that you have to just torture your body to sit in a lotus pose, and that is giving you agitation in the mind. So then it loses the purpose. Of course, that is the whole purpose of practicing asanas. Why do we practice asana? So that one can sit in a comfortable and stable position. Sthiram Sukham Asanam. So, meditation, next slide if we go. Meditation is emptying the mind. Now, this is something very interesting. We just understood that meditation is not emptying the mind. Meditation is engaging the mind, it's concentrating the mind, concentrating the chitta, concentrating the ego, concentrating your buddhi, everything is you have to concentrate in on the object of meditation. So first of all, mind is difficult to make the mind empty, because one of the basic definitions of mind is that mind is that which thinks. So therefore, emptying the mind is not the real purpose of meditation. As we have understood, it's connecting the mind to some object, concentrating the mind on some object. And when you're concentrating your mind on some object, your mind is not empty, it is engaged in something. Some people say that when you take some drugs like marijuana and some other things, that's what people call getting high. So then you can meditate better. Of course, these drugs, they make you feel more concentrated, but and sometimes you might come across people who meditate and they say that it's great to really take these drugs and you feel more you get to a different level, you go to a different plane. But truly speaking, when we go more deeper, meditation is first of all having a mind which is clear, a mind which is not full of any agitation. It's not. So therefore, we have to have a sattvic mind, a mind which is calm and quiet and clear. So it's not, according to me, it's my opinion. My people have different opinion. I don't believe that we should go into this route. We should definitely stay away from drugs and try to, if you want to get high, then get high in this process of what is called love, the love of God. When you are in love, you are anyway high. So you have to experience that divine love, and I think that will really make you more high. Brahmi and Jatamansi, they don't get you high. As the question I just look in the chat box, they don't get you high, but they definitely help you improve your concentration. So they can be taken. These are not some intoxicating drugs. They are nourishing our brain faculties, so they are okay, and they are sattvic. They are not really creating any other problem in the mind. So this is Brahmi and Jatamansi is okay, but here drugs, the word drugs here I mean is like opium and marijuana and cocaine. Many people, they have this kind of a thinking or opinion that these drugs help you to meditate better. So I don't believe in that really. So it's better to take Brahmi and Jatamansi and those kind of herbs to make your mind clear and calm. Meditation is hard. It's not for everyone. No, again, this is not true. Anybody can meditate. Anybody, in fact, the ultimate purpose of life is to arrive at that process of understanding yourself, and then growing further from there is to connect to the ultimate, your ultimate beloved, as I say, or to hook onto that real source of consciousness, because we are all conscious. Meditation is escapism. Yeah, some people, they really take up to this path because they are scared away from the mainstream life. They want to run away and live in go live in an ashram, follow some special kind of routine. So again, where are you going to escape? You can't escape from this world. You can't escape. Even when you are in an ashram, there are still, you have to eat, you have a body, you have a mind which constantly is going through some kind of agitation. So who are you trying to escape? You cannot escape your body, you cannot escape the senses, you cannot escape your mind, you cannot escape the desires which are arising from chitta. So normally when people, they run away from the mainstream life and they go into some ashram, they are trying to suppress their desires forcefully, and then they end up sometimes having serious mental problems. So I believe, even if you want to go and live in an ashram, you should try to understand that escaping from the society is not the purpose. You have to escape from the desires of the body, senses, mind. That's what I said in the very beginning, that you have to, that's what yoga is all about. Yogas chitta vritti nirodha. So this is the answer to this one. And meditation is for stressed out people. Definitely it helps a lot when someone is stressed. It's much better than drinking vodka or alcohol, or and all these kind of things that people take when they are having stress or problems. So yes, meditation helps you to relieve the stress or get rid of stress, but it's not the only purpose of it. As we have a clear understanding, meditation is only for adults, not for children. No, this is not true. Rather, I believe in this age, especially children have more agitated mind now with all this technology, mobile phones and games and video games. They're really getting completely, restless. So all these diseases like ADD, ADHD, and hyperactive children, all these problems, I think they really need meditation. They really need to learn at an early age. It's always good to learn something in a young age, because it's easy and it will remain for the rest of your life with you. So therefore, it's not only for adults, it's for everybody, because everybody is a soul, and everybody has to connect with the super soul, and therefore we all must start learning, practicing. It should be taught in the schools. Actually, it should be part of our curriculum, and one has to sit in the lotus position. This I have already explained. So these are the myths. Going into the next slide, very important. If we really want to meditate, we have to be healthy. Simple, very important thing. As long as my body is sick, my senses are not in control, my mind is agitated, my chitta is full of turbulence, I cannot meditate. That's why in Ayurveda, is very important. Ayurveda is a knowledge that helps us to become situated in ourselves, swastha. It helps us to understand our body. It helps us to understand the mind, to calm down the mind, and it helps us to really become stable at all different levels. Like yoga, the process of yoga is also to reach that level that I have full control of my body, my mind, my senses. I know how to concentrate, then I can meditate. Similarly, Ayurveda also teaches us balance in the body, balance in the mind, balance in my digestive system, balance in my tissues, clean body, no toxins in the body, no garbage in the mind. So that is the whole purpose of Ayurveda, and I think Ayurveda and yoga both help us to reach that ultimate goal of life. Why are we not swastha? What is the purpose? Why can't we meditate? In the mind, we know that there are three gunas, three qualities of mind: sattva, rajas, and tamas. It is because of enhanced rajas and tamas in the mind. Enhanced rajas, which creates action. Mind becomes agitated, mind becomes disturbed, mind is wants to do something, it's not calm. So rajas will create a disturbance in the peaceful state of mind, and tamas will create ignorance, and that ignorance will lead to some kind of confusion. So this excess of rajas and tamas leads to what we call misuse of intelligence, or not using the intelligence, or abusing the intelligence. We all have intelligence, and the main purpose of intelligence is to discriminate what is good for me, what should I eat, what should I not eat, what should I what kind of activities I should do. But technically, if we look in our life from morning till night, we are just eating foods which will agitate my balance. We are engaging in mental objects or sensual objects which create more agitation. So therefore, the reason why we are not able to meditate, or the reason why we are not able to be situated in ourselves, is excess of rajas and tamas. In Ayurvedic terminology, we call it pragya paradha. Pragya paradha means misuse of intelligence, not using intelligence. And that is what the rajas and tamas they do. When rajas and tamas are high in our mind, they will create disturbance in the mind. So therefore, this is the reason what to do. Very important, because we have to understand a little bit about sattva, rajas and tamas. When my mind is dominant, or it's not only mind, it's all my buddhi, my ahamkara, my chitta. When this is all filled with sattva guna, so I am full of knowledge, I am intelligent, I have strong memory, I know what is good, what is not good, I can discriminate, I am having a strong determination power, I am enlightened, I am truthful, I am merciful, I am happy, I am content. So this is what is needed. The solution, the end solution of this lecture is that we all need to increase sattva. Then I can understand what is yoga, what is pratyahara, what is dharana. Without that, as long as I am situated in rajas and tamas, I will not be able to even understand, because rajas will create hyperactivity, impatience. Rajas will increase in me anger, pride, hatred, fear. This is, we all have anxiety, violence, unhappiness, criticizing. Very, very important. If you look at the last point, all the time either we are listening to someone's criticism or we are criticizing someone. In Ayurveda, we have 6 tastes, sweet, sour, salty, bitter, astringent, and pungent. 6 tastes are there. I call this is the 7th taste. This is what we all relish. When we criticize, it's very tasty. When we hear criticism, it's also very tasty. So this is a cause of disturbance. And of course, tamas, when there is no knowledge, ignorance. So this leads to depression, delusion. You can't think clearly. You're very lazy, excessive sleep, selfishness, unhappiness, negative attitude. So you can see from the qualities that rajas and tamas are the cause of the problem. So what is the solution? Final thing, what should we do? I told you solution is sattva, sattvic food. I'm sure all of you can really understand what it means. Sattvic food means food which is clear, natural, vegetarian, clean, no garbage, no junk, no preservatives, fruits, vegetables, nuts, dry fruits, fresh, anything which is freshly available, fresh water, fresh air. Sattvic lifestyle, lifestyle which helps us to keep the mind calm, which is in line with our design, like sleeping in the night, waking up in the morning, eating in the proper time, going to bed at proper time, not staying awake in the night and waking up like 12 o'clock in the mid-noon. This is against the design. This is against our biological clock. Sadvrit is very important. Good behavior, good conduct, positive behavior, physical behavior, mental behavior, verbal behavior, spiritual behavior, social behavior, emotional behavior. This is a very big topic in Ayurveda. Sadavrita. You can find more about it. So this is what we have to practice. Very important is regular exercise to keep your circulation, to keep your toxins, flow of the toxins should be not blocked. Asanas you can do in exercise as a part of exercise. Good sleep is very, very important. You have to really understand that sleep is the diet of our mind. If you want to keep your mind calm and concentrated, then good sleep is very, very important. And loving relations which are full of love, they also help you to become calm and composed and quiet, and more relaxed. Otherwise, due to bad relations, we are all agitated. And Jivananda, if you will Google it, Jivananda or Jiva meditation, you will find Jiva meditation technique that I have developed. Jivananda, a daily routine program where we do some physical exercise. We also do some kind of a mind relaxing exercise, something, and we do for the soul. The soul is also called as Jiva. So how to know that you are a soul, how to connect to yourself is through Jiva meditation. And finally, very important to connect with your own nature, connect to the outer nature. And for this purpose, please feel free to come to Jivagram in India. We have created a wonderful space where all of you can really come. And I think Julia just posted the Jiva meditation YouTube link, so you can all go there. And I think I will post you also Jivagram. It is Jivagram at jiva.com. I think this is the link. You can also access, or you can do. So I hope you really enjoyed this small presentation, and with that I would like to end it here. Just briefing, what I said is that whatever you want to learn, don't be just attracted by the words and some kind of superficial things. Try to go to the root, try to go to the authentic source. And as I said in the beginning, one of the goals of Jiva in India here is that we want to revive the authentic Vedic knowledge in the modern context throughout the world. So you're all welcome to join this mission. You're all part of I think Veda Pulse family. So I think you should, and the word Veda is Veda, you know what is Veda. So if you're a part of the Veda Pulse family, you are actually doing something similar what Jiva is doing, and Veda Pulse and Jiva are working together. So you're always welcome to be a part of the mission. Whatever you can do to help this world. First of all, we have to help ourselves. We have to become healthy ourselves, and then we can move from there. So thank you very much for your time, and you're all welcome to. Are we taking any questions now? I don't know if there's time. I think we already finished the time. But as I said, okay, thank you everybody. Thank you very much. It was nice. And once